What's up, everybody? Billtendo here, and we're gonna do a new speed run today. And joining me today from Instagram is fieryfoxx, one word, two X's at the end, or as I like to call her, Jenny Hammersticks. Don't call her that. I don't think she cares for it at all.
Not a fan.
so, um, we play different types of games, her and I. So we are going to discuss single player campaign story modes versus online multiplayers. Personally, I play single player story mode type games. Legend of Zelda is a big one with me, the whole series. I enjoy Dark Cloud for PlayStation. Anything really in that vein. There's something very relaxing to me about sitting down and playing by myself and almost feeling like I have alone time. And then I feel like I'm more immersed in the game. I personally don't really get the multiplayer aspect other than playing Mario Party or Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing or something with people in the room. Um, so, what to you is the appeal of online games?
Okay. For me, I play Overwatch, which, only a 6 versus 6 compiled of various heroes with the different abilities. You kind of get to pick. And since it's so quick paced, each round is maybe 15, 20 minutes. You can alternate heroes every round. You get a totally new start. Whereas when you're playing a single player game and you're just sitting there saving, I mean, yes, you could go back to a previous save point, but you're still playing the same storyline. It's still, it has totally different appeal. But for me, I get a little competitive. I want to do something that gives me a little rush, some adrenaline, I sometimes like to get in the game chat, which is really not common anymore for anyone to be on the mic, but sometimes you get to game with some really cool people. And they just added an endorsement feature so you can find out how people think you're playing, like if your team are doing well. It's pretty
Okay.
cool. Like, I like the feedback.
Well, it's funny you say people don't use the mics because I have 20-year-old twin sons and a 15-year-old stepson. And I promise you, they use the mics. They use the mics until I tell them to shut up because I have to work in the morning, use the mics. Um, whether it's going good or bad, it pretty much sounds the same from my room.
Well, I am pretty vocal myself.
Right.
It's typically more along the where's my team? Or, why did everyone die? Group up. But I'm not on the mic. And hey, they have voice chat options in game where you can use with your D-pad, so you don't have to be that guy on chat that's
Well,
being, a troll, like bringing everyone down.
they play. I know right now they're pretty heavy into Apex, and for a long time they were into Fortnite. They have a group of friends, and they all play with together regularly. So I understand how they hype each other up. Um, Personally, you said you get your adrenaline from and your enjoyment from being competitive and playing with other people, winning. Whereas I personally, I like to be able to figure things out. I like to try something a dozen times until I figure it out. And then that's where I get my enjoyment. And if I'm playing an online multiplayer, I don't get to try something 12 times. Like, if it's not working out, I'm going to learn quick and I can't keep doing it. I like to keep trying different ways to do stuff. When it comes to Legend of Zelda games, I'm pretty big into 100%ing them at least one time when I play through. And most of them I play through multiple times. But I don't know. Other than being in the room with people and playing games with them, I don't play on like multiplayers. I do it just to spend time with the people around me, but other than that, it's not my thing.
Well, another one. I mean, so before I talk about another multiplayer game that I really like, it's not really like multiplayer with a team. You're on your own, watch your own back. But I love Skyrim. I love Fallout. I loved Outer Worlds. I
Uh,
mean, like, I do like to play games like that, but sometimes I just get frustrated making decisions that like affect the outcome of the game, or sitting there trying to solve a puzzle. I just get heated, and I just want to place it and work as a team, all of the responsibility. Having said that, I do healer in Overwatch as my main. I play Mercy, but I also play Zarya, and I don't know. I just feel like the responsibility is like even, and if it's a terrible round, it's kind of everyone's fault. You know?
right, right. Um, yeah, I actually lost a challenge with my kids, which had me agree to play Fortnite, and so far I've wormed my way out of that for the last 6 months or so. I've never actually played Fortnite. I've played some online games with them. Now that I think about it, at one time we were all playing Dauntless. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. Um, Not really a battle royale or anything. You go out on raiding parties to kill monsters, and everyone, collects XP and abilities, and you could trade it in for new armor or whatever. I did that with them for a while. I was on Switch. My two sons were on Xbox One, and my stepson was on PS4. And it was kind of cool that we could all play together on different systems, because I know not a lot of games allow you to do that.
Yeah, cross-platform is the future. It just is. But like,
I
I don't
think
know. I think you should give Fortnite a chance. I'm not saying that you're gonna like it because it's not a good game, but it's not a horrible game. I'm being subjectively objective. It's not a good, but it's not a horrible game. It's not the kind of game that I would, like. I mean, as far as bets go, there are a lot worse things that you can do.
yeah, that's true. I've teased them since they started playing it, and I call it the murder carpentry game. Are you going to build a house, or are you going to kill somebody? What are you here to do?
Both.
Right. But no, they're pretty heavy in the Apex nowadays. Um, but they do play a lot of other stuff. They were in the game room yesterday and pulled the 360 out of there to take it upstairs to play fighting games or something. Lucky, I'm a little obsessive with my collecting lately. They have access to all these different consoles and all these different games that they can play. Um, Although they do tend to download a lot, and me, I'm a physical media guy. I want to own my game, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. It is.
yeah, because that one can get a little long winded. I've actually been speaking to a guy who lost what like 5 years on a game, an online game, and they decided they were going to shut him down one day. And he had spent something like $10,000 over the course of 5 years on this game. He didn't really break any rules or anything. They decided to terminate some accounts, and I don't really know what happened, but they actually his brother was a lawyer or something. Talked to the guy. He talked to the game company, and they actually refunded all of the guy's money. But the guy was still mad about it. He's like, I put all this time into this game, I I
Oh,
built all this up and then gone. I didn't really want the money back. I wanted my game back.
yeah, that's rough when you invest a whole bunch of time into a game and don't have access to it anymore. I can relate to that, having, content saved in a system that doesn't exist. It's rough. start over from scratch. But if you love a game and you're starting from scratch, sucks, but it's not the worst thing because you started from scratch at one point and that's why you learned to love the game. And I myself personally have, gone through, replayed games, started from scratch just because I wanted to. So, it sucks, but like that game I was just talking about, Rust, it's one of those online, every man for himself. Like you start out a naked man on a beach with a rock and you just kind of have to like mine and farm and build, and then you raid compounds and you can like team up with other people or they can kill you. But they do map wipes like consistently. So even if you build a really great compound and you have all the stuff, they can like every time they map wipe, it's just everyone starts from zero.
Yeah. Well, you also know it's a possibility that it's coming. It's an inevitability in that situation. I've actually played games. I was halfway through Wind Waker on the GameCube, and I turned it on one day, and it said that my memory card was corrupted, and I was being pissy around the house probably for about a half an hour. I turned it off and it wanted me to reformat, and I'm like, I'm not reformatting because once you reformat, it's lost forever. And for some reason, when I turned it back on, about a half an hour after that, it came back up and my game was still there. But, we can still, even if you're using physical media, you can still lose your games. Memory card glitches. Sometimes things don't save properly especially old games, Nintendo 64, NES, SNES, where they had batteries in the cartridges. The batteries go bad. So you lose all your save progress.
Yeah, that's what happened in my Nintendo.
Yep. A lot of people have taken to learning how to change the batteries out because it's not difficult. So maybe it's a minor skill you want to pick up. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap us up there. Huh?
That sounds. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube tutorial. Maybe make one.
Yeah, maybe I'll make one. But then again, maybe I'm too lazy to actually make that one and somebody else already has. So, so I'm going to wrap us up here. You guys can find me on Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube under Billtendo. We're also here on the arcade cabinet, both Instagram and YouTube. And we have the Instagram podcast, which is on every platform you could possibly imagine. New episodes every Sunday. Also, in the link, I'm going to post a link below to Billtendo and Arcade Cabinet t-shirts, coffee mugs. We have some merchandise if anybody's interested. Jenny, you have anything?
Wear a mask, wash your hands.
All right, so check out Jenny on Instagram, fieryfoxx with 2 X's, one word, and I'll see you guys next time.